Hello and welcome to another edition of This Week in ITFC History. My name is David Diamond and I'll be here every week now, I think, with a renegade statman to look at the names, the games, the goals, the wins, the draws and the losses from this week in ITFC history. Stat, what are you saying?
Is it cold around yours?
I just thought, do you know what? It is a bit chilly, but do you know what I thought? I thought retro podcast, retro tracky top.
That is a quality top.
Retro tracky top.
Sergio Tacchini, yeah?
That's the original, not Hugo Ross or Adidas.
So is it the couple of red stripes across the chest there?
Couple of red stripes across his chest. Got it going on. There you go. Look at that.
Is it fleecy? Is it sort of like a velour?
No, it's not
feel?
Fleecy. No, Christ, no, it's nice. It's not fleecy. No, it's a conventional tracky top.
Nice touch. I've just got Morris's
I
head
like that. It's a nice
just
t-shirt.
about.
That looks like a proper concert T-shirt. Is it?
It is, yeah. Poking his head above it. So should we go straight into it?
Well, I think so because we've got some serious content to get through this week's stat. My God, including alert, my favourite ever Ipswich Town game, which I think we may have covered before, but I'm not sure we did.
Well, I thought about that in the early days of the pod bunker.
Yeah,
I thought, but I couldn't find
early days of the pod. I'm sure me and you didn't.
Yeah.
No, early days of the pod bunker probably. I don't think we did last year, did we? Did we? I don't think so. Anyway,
I don't know.
It's my favourite game. We could do it every season.
But do you say that every week? This was my favourite game.
I don't think I do, Stat. No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I'll say one of them, maybe.
Right, okay, well, I'm going to go back and listen to them. So let's go back to a time when we had a manager that we all liked. It's Friday, the 3rd of April, 2015. Yeah. It's a 5:15 kickoff, so I think the eagle-eyed or the Catholic amongst you would realise that it was Good Friday.
It was, yeah.
And we were in 7th. 17th would be nice now. But yeah, we were in 7th and we were facing, actually, I think, how the way the game went, I think we were in 6th when the game kicked off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I think there were other matches going on later that evening. And we were playing Eddie Howe's Bournemouth at Portman Road.
I think we can probably call them high-flying Bournemouth, can't we?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you see their team, they certainly are some great players in there.
What I noticed, we'll go through the team because there's something really incredible. Well, I'm saying incredible about the team. So this was, as far as continuity is concerned, this was 4 seasons ago, and just having a quick look through the team and the subs as well. I reckon there's still 8 players, and I reckon there's still at least 6 of those are still regulars. Incredibly,
there's some great players. This game happened after the annoying end of March international break. So the game before that, we'd beaten Watford 1-0 away with Richie Chaplow.
Yeah,
Some people call him Richard. In fact, the programme has actually got him on as Richard.
Yeah.
I can see your reflection. It's very glossy.
Wow, look at that. Glossy.
But I like to call him Richie Chaplow. Yeah. So that was the game that we played before the international break. And Mick never really had a great record. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he didn't win many games after the international break.
That's Paul Lambert's record.
Well, yeah, true. And now he's now kind of turned poacher, turned gamekeeper because now he gets his wins only on when there is an international break now. Mick McCarthy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, there you go. Nice link there.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about this game that stood out was that there were 2 Polish goalkeepers.
What a spot from you, Stat. Yeah.
So we'll go through the Bournemouth team.
Yeah.
So I noticed the other day when we were playing Hull City, and Rob Chandler was there, and he always goes through the away team first at Portman Road. So I thought, let's go through it. So we've got Artur Boric, former Celtic keeper.
Celtic, yeah.
Simon Francis. I'm going by my memory now, and I'm not really interested in other people. This guy's got a name that makes me think like he's some sort of 70s. He was involved in Confessions of a Window Cleaner or something. Tommy Elphick.
Yeah, you're thinking of Michael Elphick, who was in Boone, I think.
That's it.
Boone? Michael Elphick.
Confessions of a whatever they did, antique dealer, was it?
No, he wasn't. Boone was a what was he? He was I don't know.
Oh, was he a detective?
No, it was sort of, yeah, detective. But he was a what do they call him? Oh, I don't know. He delivered
of a private eye.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah. Courier. That's what he was. Courier.
On a bike?
Yes,
proper bike?
He was. Yes, on a bike, on a motorbike.
Oh, not a proper bike then.
No, well, no. Between me and you, not a weird class as a proper bike. Anyway, we digress. Carry on.
I think maybe we should message Rob Chandler and just say, could we do the team? Imagine people walking. What's going on? We're at number 3. Tommy Elphick, Cook,
Steve Cook, isn't it?
Steve Cook, yeah. Jack Daniels.
Even better name is Charlie, and it's scorer of one of the great Premier goals.
Charlie Daniels.
Was it against? I forget who it was against though. Could have been Man City. I can't remember. What a strike! Woo! Yeah.
Matt Ritchie.
Yeah, player. He was outstanding that day.
Andrew Sermon.
Yeah, used to play for them up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next guy, Harry Arter.
Yeah. Next guy's decent.
Yeah. Ryan Fraser. Imagine if you'd think, cool, I've seen him in this game. I wonder if I could get him on loan.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember them being absolutely brilliant, all of them, this game. And we'll get on to it. I think we sort of got away with one. But I remember him being good. I can't remember him necessarily being outstanding. But obviously, start of the next season, he was with us, wasn't he?
Yeah, leading the line was the recent Checker Trade Trophy winner, Brett Pittman.
Pittman, who came across with Fraser as well. Yeah.
When do you think he's going to get his hair cut?
I don't know. He don't care, does he? When Ben gets his cut, I reckon.
Well, do they go together?
I think they do. Oh. Yeah, Brett the Hitman.
And Callum Wilson, who didn't make himself very popular in this game.
Do you know what? Guys, I didn't realise he'd been with Bournemouth so long. I really didn't realise he was with them back then. Yeah.
I'll go through the
so just picking the ones out, I think Borich, Francis, Cook, Daniels, Sermon, Fraser, Wilson, and Adam Smith on the bench, all still with him and all still playing, I think, incredibly.
Where's Harry Arter now?
Cardiff, I think. Yeah, he was Cardiff. Whether that be a loan or permanent, I don't. Someone will shout at me, put me right. Yeah, I believe he's with Cardiff, I think.
So yeah, it's 5:15 kickoff live on Sky, and the thing that I like about this, it was a good Friday, so it was a holiday to be fair, but it was an unusual kickoff time for a Friday evening, and 22,672 still turned up.
Pretty good. Yeah, we'd take that.
And the town team has got a debutante in it.
Yes, again, clearly, if this had been a Two Little Ducks, would not have got this guy.
Well, it's the one to remember. So we've got Bart in goal, obviously keeping up the Polish, so we matched them pole for pole there in goal. Chambers in his favoured position then, was it? Of a right back?
His customary position, a right back, yeah.
And then Ezekiel Fryers.
I can't even remember where he was on loan from.
Reading?
Good shout, possibly.
Cardiff? Can't remember. Zeki Fryers. No,
Palace? Not Palace.
Palace.
Was it Palace?
That's it, yeah.
I think it might have been Zeki, Zeki Fryers, yeah.
Well, his name's Ezekiel.
Well, I know it is, but yeah.
I mean, do you call Aristot Enciala, do you call him Toto?
I always use his full name.
The only one that the stat machine lets slip in is Richie Chaplow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Zeki Fryers was coming in to make his debut.
Yeah.
2 decent centre-halves here. It's good to see that in the team. Christoph Berra and Tommy Smith.
I'd go as far as to say if we had them at centre-half throughout this season, we probably wouldn't be, so far adrift, I would suggest.
And I'd also say that if we had Tommy Smith in a centre-half, he'd be our top goal scorer as well.
He probably would be. Yeah, he was good for half a dozen, wasn't he? Yeah.
It's funny, you look at some of these players and think, I miss them now. So we've got Cole Skews.
Yeah.
Tabby, J-Tab.
Tabby.
Teddy Bishop.
Blimey, yeah.
He scored in the away tie that season, I think.
Is that his only town goal, do we think? Maybe he got one other? Probably, yeah.
Oh, it's his only goal, isn't it?
I can't remember anymore.
Well, correct us if we're wrong. Freddie Sears, Daryl Murphy, and there ain't nobody like Luke Varney.
Luke Varney. Yeah. See on the bench. I mean, look at the bench. Chaplow, Ritchie,
Yeah.
Roy Wood from
Yeah.
Wizard, and
Dave Clark.
Dave Clark 5. And that's Matt Clark, isn't it? Who is this? Did I read somewhere today? He's potentially off a big wedge, and we could be picking up a tidy sum by all accounts.
When you say we, do you mean
Not
Marcus
we,
Evans?
not me and you, not the pod.
Yeah.
I mean, the club bigger.
I
Club.
heard 800,000 to £1 million or whatever.
That is a figure I read too. I think he's been absolutely outstanding.
So it's game 40.
Pompey. Yeah.
And in the 6th minute, the Bulls, so Town are attacking the Cyrille Regis stand. Mm-hmm. The Bulls just in front of the Cobbold Massive. Churchman's in old money.
Yeah.
So they're just in front of the Cobbold Massive, and the ball gets whipped across to Murphy, who's in the penalty area.
Brilliant play.
Lovely touch.
Yeah.
The way he controls it. He turns really quick with his feet.
Yeah.
There's about 3 or 4 defenders within 3 or 4 yards of him.
It's completely
full. Plays this simple pass, and you suddenly wonder what on earth is Freddie Sears doing by himself on the 6-yard box. It
was absolutely outstanding from Murphy. When you look back at that, it was absolutely brilliant and very, again, similar to some of the goals we've described, the first Hull goal on Saturday. Great awareness from Murphy, and unselfish as well. Just to lay that square, brilliant.
So that was, and I made a note, but then I didn't actually. It's always difficult. So you just carry on talking, Dave. There you go. No, so that was Freddie Sears' 5th league goal since he joined us from Cole U in that January.
Pretty decent, yeah.
And then what I can remember, and there's a little bit of footage on YouTube. What I can remember is just wave after wave of Bournemouth attacks, and Bart.
I think Bart was outstanding. I know he played reasonably well that season, but yeah, I think that was the first game where you came away thinking we've got a goalkeeper here. Yeah, he was absolutely superb, wasn't he? I remember about that game, Ritchie absolutely bossed it in midfield. Ritchie, Arter, I think was very good. Yeah, and yeah, good. Yeah, they were really, really good. Absolutely good.
Going at half-time 1-0. And what I kind of remember is it was pretty much similar, one-way traffic. It wasn't completely one-way traffic, but they were certainly on top.
Yeah.
And then the 3 subs that they brought on was Jan Kermagan, Adam Smith.
Yeah.
But then they just recently got Kenwyn Jones from Cardiff on loan. And I think at that point,
how many times have we linked with him over the years? Quite a few, I think.
Great player.
Yeah, he was. Yes,
he's like Stern John, but only better. Would you say?
A souped-up version of Stern John. Yeah, he was a good player, Kenwyn Jones.
He comes on, everywhere. And I think most of us suddenly realised that we've got, I think, probably about 15 minutes to hold out, and we're going to be absolutely battered.
Yeah.
3rd minute, it's a corner. I think it comes from a corner, and he gets his head on it.
Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, it's looking at it again. It's quite good movement from him. He sort of pulls off the defenders, and it's just disappointing that you concede. He's come on, you concede from a set piece, but it's quite clever movement from him. And I mean, obviously it ends 1-1. I still remember McCarthy saying afterwards that we got away with one really, and he'd certainly take a point.
Yeah, no, I think it's right. I mean, the stats will say Bournemouth had 19 shots and we had 7. I think of those 7, 3 were on target. But the thing that I remember more than anything else was sitting there probably about 7 o'clock on a Good Friday night, probably thinking I've gone all the way through the day without having any meat because it's Good Friday, looking forward to a hot cross bun, and then suddenly there is Kenwyn Jones doing a triple Salco in front of me.
It was disappointing I guess to get that far. You're being battered. You think, okay, we might get away with it and scrap 3 points, but no, wasn't to be. And Bournemouth were outstanding that season. As we know, ultimately, I checked, that set them up really. That last 6 games they won. After this game, they won 5, drew 1. Got promoted. Won the championship last day of the season with 90 points. Probably deserved it. I mean, we had 2 great games with them. You alluded to the first game. I think we drew 2-2 there, didn't we? So they didn't beat us both games that season. But outstanding. And I mean, again, something else I remember from them that season. Remember they won 8-0 at Birmingham. That was that season. So yeah,
They were on fire. I mean,
they were really good to watch as well, and still are. I think I like watching Bournemouth in the Premier. They haven't, Howe hasn't lost that sort of, that principle, quite attractive play. Wide men, quick front men. Yeah, he plays football the right way. I mean, he's been there a long time, long time.
That was their 83rd goal that they'd scored that season. We were on 50. That was our 60th goal.
Oh, okay, so that's
not too bad. 40th league match, 60 goals. We had 68 points.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind half of them now. And so we ended the game in 7th. Bournemouth ended it in 2nd, and we were 6 points behind them in 2nd place. So it just shows how much ground we'd lost since that, since the new year, really. I think, and I don't think our record was particularly bad. I remember getting beaten. We got battered at Middlesbrough, didn't we? Did we lose at Leeds as well? I seem to remember. Then, of course, I think this was on the Good Friday. I think on the Easter Monday, I believe we lost away at Huddersfield, I think. Yeah.
So we were always, we just didn't have that from Christmas onwards, and we've spoken about it before. Injury to McGoldrick and one thing and another. Injury to Hyam as well, who was more than a squad player back in that season. We just lost a bit of momentum, and well, we all know how it ended up, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, maybe we might cover that Blackburn game at the end of the season, and with Murphy scoring early, but realistically, what did we got into the playoffs? We got 78, 79 points or whatever, and we kind of, we got in there because Derby. I think Derby lost.
Oh yeah,
we've still got 78, 79 points, which is far higher than you would expect normally.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right in there.
Let's go to 2002-03, and this could be described as a humdinger.
I think so. I thought, well, I like to when you send me the games, certain games leap out, and we all like to sort of throw some, we had such a crap season, we like to cover the wins and stuff like that. But I thought I'd have to throw this game in because it was a hell of a game.
If you were there, you would know about it.
Oh, mate. But just the thing that strikes me about this, just before we start, the crowd. Look at the crowd, 29,500. It's incredible.
And at 29,500,
absolutely incredible.
Saturday afternoon game against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it was a big game. So set the scene. We were, unless after this game, but we were 7th. I think we were, and Forest were 4th. So a lot, as they say, the proverbial, a lot to play for.
Oh, totally. So it's the 5th of April 2003. It's a 3:00 kickoff. So we're in the 2nd tier, but I think it was probably the Ensley League Division 1 or Nationweed. That's another website. Nationwide.
Yeah.
Division 1.
Yeah.
Joe Royle is in charge of town, and Paul Hart, who seemed to be his stock was rising, but that football index that Rich and Joe go on about. I think at one point Paul Hart's stock would have risen, but then where is he now? Did he retire? Please, he hasn't died, has he?
No, I don't think he's died.
Right, okay,
died. No. Was he not Blackpool manager for a bit? Then he kept leaving. Then he went back and left again and went back. I don't know. I think he was linked with us at one point as well.
Oh, most people are, and most of them through you just saying that. I think he's linked with us, and people pick that up. What you're saying.
Of course they do.
The Gospel of St. Dave.
Yeah. It's spread by our 2 listeners, Jules and Ian.
Yeah. So the Forest team. And like I said, I can't find the program for that. It's filed somewhere. But
can't believe I think Stat may have misfiled it.
Yeah, I think it is somewhere.
But he's going to get. Well, I don't know if we'll make it through the podcast after I've suggested that. Anyway, go on, Stat. Sorry.
Keep looking at the other program. Ward.
Yeah. Ward. Dub.
Danny.
Yeah, say Danny. Yeah.
Louis Jean.
Francois.
Or as my dad would say, Louis Jean.
Louis Jean.
Yeah.
I think it was Matthew. I think he was.
Mathieu? Or Matteo?
Mathieu.
Yeah. So my dad would say Matthew Lewis G.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Michael Dawson.
Yeah, player. Yeah.
Helder.
Oh, dear.
Jan. Is it Jan?
Yeah, it sounds right. Jan Soren. Yeah, sounds right. Yeah.
Brennan.
Mark Brennan. No, he'd be about 45 then, wouldn't he?
Yes. I know.
Jim
I thought,
Brennan. No, used to be in Corrie.
Write the names down. I thought, don't forget.
Jim Brennan. I think it could be Ian Brennan. I'm going to say Ian.
Did you say who's the other Brennan you said from Coronation?
Jim Brennan.
Jim.
Go on.
Williams. Was it Michael Williams?
Gareth Williams.
Gareth Williams.
I think.
Yeah. Ricardo Schumacher.
Ricardo Schumacher. Yeah.
Schumacher. Yeah. Andy Reid.
Player. Yeah.
And then, as I put here, even though one of them I can't stand, one of them I think is absolutely a god. One made a useless, should have scored, and you know who I'm talking about here. But the front three of Forest: Darren Huckabee, David Johnson, and Marlon Harewood.
Which one can't you stand?
Well, I'll probably put Huckabee at the bottom. Yeah, no, definitely Huckabee.
He's good. Yeah,
no, just to say, I really can't stand Darren Huckabee. I don't know if that's coming.
No, he didn't. He doesn't. He's always very quick. Sometimes he's on social media, making fun of our current predicament, isn't he? He enjoys that. Got to say, good player, Huckabee. Very, very good player.
Not going to say that. I know that he used to wear a magic hat.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a good player for Norwich, but certainly Man City and Newcastle, Coventry, could play Huckabee. Yeah, could play.
So the Town lineup, and it's got a little bit of a surprise. The Town the previous week had played Gillingham away in the league. I think we beat them 3-1 or something.
Okay.
Thomas Gardso picked up an injury in the first half of that game.
Right.
So let me go through the team. So Town are playing in a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Andy Marshall in goal, apparently.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Fabian Wilness and Matt Richards as your fullbacks, and Chris Makin, Richard Naylor.
So what? Makin play centre back in a 3.
Yeah, with Richard Naylor, but in the middle of the two, in between Makin and Naylor, was Matt Holland.
Always quite like Holland at centre back, but I think this game probably showed why he shouldn't be playing at centre back.
So I mean, I was looking at the team, but what's happened to? I think what happened to recent Hall of Famer Herman Hreiderson. I think he was still around that season. John McGreal.
2003, was he? Or did he go? I can't remember when he went. Would he not have gone in that window of that? I don't know.
Maybe he'd gone in the... Was there even a window then?
Oh, I don't even know. God, I don't know. Yeah.
At least I don't like about the window.
Let's say he was injured. Let's say, was he injured or suspended? What do we think? Injured, suspended or transferred? What do we think?
Yeah, that's a bit like kiss, marry or avoid, isn't it, really? So you've got your own one.
Again, I'm going to say... shouting at us now. What do we reckon? I'm going to say injured. I'm going to say calf strain.
I still think he might have been with us a little bit, but and John McGreal, probably out for a long time. So just to go back through that back five. So we've got Wilness and Richards as your fullbacks, and then Chris Makin, Matt Holland, and Richard Naylor as the three centre halves. And then you've got Tommy Miller, your mate, Jim Magilton,
DT man, yeah,
Jammer, Jermaine Wright, and Marcus, Ben, and Pablo up front.
Full of goals.
That's why 29,500 people turned up.
Mate, if that's not an entertaining side, I don't know what is. That is superb, isn't it? Yeah.
Ben, Canargo, Johnson, Harewood, Huckabee, Tommy Miller with penalties and stuff. The referee...
The Goulds. Who's the ref?
Howard Webb.
Ah, okay.
And more of him later because he decides to get involved a little bit in this game.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So let's go straight through because there's a few goals to go through.
I'll try and keep tabs. Go on, Stat.
Yeah. So it's Tanner attacking Churchman's as it would have been then, 2003, and the ball falls to Pablo. He's about 8 yards out. And you bank your money on him to score because even though there's a goalie and I think maybe one or two defenders, he's clever at picking the spot from there. So his first shot, as I said, first shot, came off the defender, came back to him. He then had another shot that was blocked as well, but it falls to Tommy Miller on the left of the box. I think he's not that far out, and he blasts it in. So 14 minutes, 1-0 up.
In fairness to the keeper, would you say the keeper would it normally class the keeper as being unsighted?
Unsighted.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that in your job?
No.
Do you ever use it? And they say, well, why have you not done this, Dave? And you say, I was unsighted, and they go, no, that's all right.
Yeah,
then.
That's perfectly all right. Yeah. Hang on, why have you put 2 extra noughts? Oh, I was unsighted. Yeah.
And we're in the Tom Hart days here now, I think.
I reckon. Yeah.
That would have gone blaring out with 29,500. Well, minus Forest fans joining in, and then in the 26th minute, this is where the game I always remember this bit.
Crazy.
So we've won a penalty, and can't remember how we won it, but it could be there. But I've written too much for this. So who are you going to call when you got a penalty then?
Tommy Miller and his oldie TT, man.
Yeah, I was hoping that you were going to kind of say Tommy Miller in a Geordie Ghostbusters sort of styling.
Tommy Miller. I can't do it.
I might take off. Need to work on that a little bit. So anyway, he steps up and Ward gets down to his left and saves the ball. The ball kind of comes off the post.
I was absolutely shocked. I think I fainted when Miller missed a penalty.
And to be fair, the keeper gets down to it quickly.
Yeah, it
comes off the post.
Yeah.
Ball's not quite in his hand. So as you would expect, Pablo's thinking, well, I'll have a go at this. So he dives in and he puts the ball and the keeper in the over the line.
Loose, doesn't it? Yeah.
He's standing there going, no,
it's a goal.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
Where you got 5 merry men from Forest who are sort of around him like Friar Tuck and he's Little John. Yeah. Did he play for them, Adrian?
Adrian Littlejohn.
Should have him in that team, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
I can't think of any other famous. Is there a Robin Hood that played?
No, I don't think it's a Robin Hood that plays. No.
Please, if you've got,
I think there was a Will Scarlett, but I don't think it was a Robin Hood. Yeah.
Maid Marian was up front for them. Let's move on. So anyway, Pablo's bundled the ball in. The 5 Forest players, like Michael Dawson is almost towering over him, and Howard Webb then says, "Well, there's only one thing to do here." Gives Pablo a yellow card. Pablo doesn't look very impressed, and the ball is about to go down for a free kick. I'm guessing there would have been a free kick right on the goal line.
So honestly, it was one of those decisions.
So then,
linesman.
Yeah. So Howard Webb, does he still support Manchester United? I don't know. I don't know if he did then, but to be fair, he notices his linesman waving his flag, and he goes over, and the conversation goes something along the lines of the keeper was off his line when he, before the ball was taken. So you can imagine him at that point going, "Really? I've just booked him over there.
Oh, look at that twat!
I've just given a free kick on the goal line, which everybody really would like to see how you deal with that."
Yeah.
So he then goes, "All right then, well, let's take the penalty again." So I don't know. Actually, Pablo's yellow card should have been scrubbed off,
rescinded.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was. I don't know. Yeah.
So Miller
that didn't actually happen, did it?
No. Miller puts the ball on the spot, and he places his penalty in the same position.
That's what he liked. See, that's
so confident.
Balls. Yeah, brilliant.
His 10th of the season. So it's 26 minutes, and Town are 2-0 up and kind of coasting. You're thinking this is going to be a game that closes the gap to us and the teams that are right in the playoff mix.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of all goes badly wrong, and it goes all badly wrong.
Where did that come from? It's a mad 10 minutes, or not even that. Was it 8 minutes?
Very quickly.
Yeah.
So what you don't want to do, I'm just going to take a drink, Dave.
Go on, mate. Go on. Take a drink and nice.
Because we have got
Coke.
We have got a lot to get through. So 1 minute later, Forest get one back. How annoying is that? Whenever you score a goal and the opposition get one, you're still kind of solid. You even spoke to your mate next to you, said, "Oh, that was a great effort."
Worst ever, Magilton hat-trick, and then Johnston scores immediately for Bolton. Although it did set the game up nicely for the Magilton and what happened after. But I think that's probably the worst I felt. Literally, everyone going mental. Hang on. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. So that's 1 minute later. The long ball, Thompson, he's got a long... The ball goes up towards the Forest forward, and Bam Bam doesn't really cover himself in a great deal of glory here. Doesn't clear it properly, and the ball gets played across the edge of the box. And Thompson, who's a sub, so who went off at that point?
Oh, let's just pick one. I reckon Skimmaker went. No, I reckon Jim Brennan went off.
Yeah, Jim Brennan went off. Yeah, he had to go to the pub. I don't know. And he fires a long drive past Marshall. And the thing that I love about this, because I have a view about who I thought did really badly in this game, But you see Andy Marshall, of all people, berating Bam Bam. So you're thinking, okay, well, come on, lads, it's still 2-1 up. It's unfortunate that we let them back in the game, but let's just see it out to half time.
No.
2 minutes later, oh, what a horrible ball! It's a long ball forward from Dawson. Johnson beats Naylor to the header, and fair play to Jono. He could leap like a fly, a flea.
Yeah, flea, flea.
Naylor should do better, but the ball breaks to Harewood, who takes the ball into the edge of the box, and he scuffs his shot
perfectly, though, isn't it? Just right. Again, give Marshall, because he doesn't expect that. He just creeps in the corner. That's not Marshall's fault.
So are you saying that if it had been a brilliant shot, he'd have saved it? But
I think he probably, and that's an odd one, isn't it? He'd probably had a more chance because he'd have set himself for the more powerful shot, and that completely foxed him, didn't it?
And you've got that horrible moment in football when you just watch the ball go past and think, this is rolling in the back of the net.
Shit, that's going in 2-2.
So 2-2. I mean, 3 minutes before we were 2-0 up, and then we're now at Desmond. We've got a Desmond scoreline. 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
So you just think, come on, lads.
Come on, lads.
I know we're 2-1 up. And now let's hold the draw. 4 minutes later, oh my goodness, Harewood's close range shot is saved, but the ball goes back to a Forest player. I'm not sure who it is, but his driving shot comes in. Huckabee's in the middle of there as well, and it comes off Richard Naylor. That's 4 goals in 7 minutes in total, and it's Ipswich Town 2, Forest 3.
Yeah.
That's
You posed me a question here.
I did pose you a question. So we've got a little stat there. So at half time, we're losing 3-2.
Yeah.
So it's only the 5th time that Town have been losing 3-2 at home at half time. We've lost 4 of them.
Yeah.
Can you remember the game we won from a losing position of 3-2 at half time at home? Is it in your era?
Yeah. I reckon it was, and I haven't checked.
I know you're going to get it.
It's in my era. I reckon the only game I can think of, this is a ridiculous high-scoring game, is Ipswich 5, Newcastle 4.
Oh, spot on.
In 1975, I think. Hamilton got a hat-trick.
Was it a Texaco Cup match?
Oh, no. It was a league
match.
Yeah.
5-4 from 3-2. Yeah. That's the only game. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
So that's the half-time entertainment. So we go out in the second half, 3-2 down. I think the important thing is getting a goal back, basically. That would be my team talk. Probably it was Joe Royals. And I tell you what, this is a lovely goal on the hour.
Lovely goal.
Yeah, Magilton's got a 40-yard pass, doing what Jim Magilton does best, and he puts it over the top of the Forest back line. You look at the likes of Michael Dawson there. some big lads there, but whether their position is a bit wrong, whether Jim's just got...
He could drop a ball like that, though, couldn't he? He could drop a ball in there, 40 yards, 30, 40 yards, class player.
Falls to Bent, who's onside. He's made the run behind the back 4, takes the ball into the penalty area, and he just puts the ball under Ward. 60th minute, 3-3, game is on. I can't really remember. This is one of these games where the goals stand out more than some of the action.
I can remember pretty much all the goals in the second half. I can't remember what happens now. I can't remember their winner at all. But I know scored it, unfortunately.
Well, 75th minute, Forest got a free kick on the corner of the penalty area facing the Churchman stand, and it's just floated in, and Harewood gets his head in. 4-3.
Yeah, gutted. Looking at the bigger picture that season. So we go on, we finished 7th, but reverse that result.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Forest finished 6th, 74 points.
Yeah,
we had 70. Reverse the result, and we're there. I think they went on to lose to Sheffield United. I think in the semis, in the playoff semis. I think that was a pretty high scoring couple of legs as well. But
was that the one where Sunderland got to the final or something?
No, 2002-3. No, so it would have been Sheffield United against. I can't remember. I can't remember the final.
Just say any team.
Yeah,
Charlton.
Go on, say Charlton. Don't think it
Bolton.
was.
Remember that team that used to be in existence, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
So Marlon Harewood makes it 4-3. Like you say, if we'd have switched that result around, I think, is that a classic sliding doors moment that Rich? I don't think he picked this up, but if we'd have, we'd have won that game.
Playoffs that season. Admittedly, we know perhaps it was again building on that season because that was obviously our first season down. Burley had been sacked earlier on in that season, and we were expected to go straight back up. Obviously, we didn't. But and that was a season where we start to lose the players. By that time, Marcus Stewart had gone. Ambrose, I think, had gone. Had he? Yeah, would Ambrose have gone? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not Ambrose. Anyway, certainly Marcus Stewart had gone. It was. Still
the nucleus of the side was there. When you think Rooster and Armstrong as subs as well.
Yeah. Oh Christ, yeah, Rooster. Oh, that reminded me today. Someone posted. Was it you or Rich posted that? His free kick.
Rich, yeah.
Wowzers. What a player! What a player!
Love
but no, who knows? I've got a really good number one, though, stat. A really good number one. Not sure unless you looked yourself.
I haven't. I've kind of left that bit to you now.
And this is a tune. This is "Make Love" by Room 5 featuring Oliver Cheatham. That is a good tune, isn't it?
Yeah.
That one.
I don't know that one. No, another one that got to number one in April 2003. Right.
Good tune. Come on, stat. Oh, here we go.
I'm going to show you the programme first of all.
Come on.
So it's Arsenal.
Town against. I know it's not.
Oh, who's that?
No, it's not. Look at that.
It is the FA Cup semi-final played at Highbury, hence Arsenal. Yeah. And the other thing that I like to always point out, you probably can't see it here. Oh, hang on, which way am I going?
It's a 3:15. You love that, don't you?
3:15.
That's a bit quirky.
Yeah,
that's a bit quirky.
I tell you what, I'm going to spoil you because I haven't done it yet. Mrs. Stat thinks she knows I'm very sad. But what I've done is put together a little a slide. It's a PowerPoint slide, but it's just a document.
Yeah.
So it's like a picture of, since the turn of the century, all of the kickoff times we've had this century.
My God.
in a graphical display. And I thought you could look at it and then suddenly go, hang on a minute, why did we kick off at 7 minutes past 3? There's a little reason behind it. Starts discussion down the pub. Do you remember where we were when we kicked off at 7:15?
Seriously, that starts discussion down the pub, does it? Who with?
Yeah, well, most of the people are saying, can we sit somewhere else? Right. So we are playing Ron Atkinson's.
Can I just say this here and now? This unashamedly, and for wider, this goes personally wider than the game. This is my favourite ever Ipswich Town match.
Tell me where you were.
Tell you where I was.
Yeah.
Well, I was at the game.
You were at the game.
Yeah, it's because I was at the game. Yeah.
Along with 50,921 people.
Along with my dad. And I didn't often go to football with my dad after the age of, I don't know, 10, maybe.
But your dad was 10. Oh no, your age. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So I went along with my dear old dad, and unbelievable, literally unbelievable scenes. But Stat, carry on, mate. You
right. Let's go through the West Brom team.
I could do I was really hoping this would always be the CV game, but
all right.
Yeah, Little Ducks game.
Do it then.
Okay, so it would be, without looking, it would be Tony Godden, Paddy Mulligan, Derek Statham, Tony Brown, John Weil. Sorry,
what are you looking up there?
Oh no, I'm just looking up. So I'm not. I'm not looking down at the team. Not looking down at the team. Tony Brown, John Weil, Alistair Robertson, Mick Martin, Alistair Brown, John Truick, Cyrille Regis, Willie Johnston, sub Laurie Cunningham.
Right, I'm going to give you probably. We'll score this. We'll grade this old school, so A to C. I want to give you a C.
What?
For this. Yeah, because you named them correctly in order: Tony Godden, Paddy Mulligan, Derek Statham, Tony Brown, John Weil, Alistair Robertson. You then said Mick Martin, and the programme says Mike Martin. You then got
His name is Mick Martin, not Mike.
Just go by the programme. Alistair Brown at number 8. Cyrille Regis at 9. John Truick. So I think you maybe got those two mixed up. So I'll give you a C, and you're right.
A C? You are hard man.
C plus.
I'd be expecting A minus for that all day long. But
right,
anyway,
now give me the town lineup. With your eyes closed.
With my eyes closed. Cooper, Burley Mills, Talbot, Hunter Beattie, Osborne, Walk, Mariner, Turner, Woods, Sub, Lambert.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call your two little duck thing on Kevin Beattie.
Did I not say Hunter Beattie?
The program says Russell Osman, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
You are, of course, correct. The program was printed in advance. I think that's what they used to do.
Of course it was. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Thinking about it, this is quite a thing. Perhaps the 3:15 kickoff was something to do with by a quirk of fate. I don't know what it was. The other semi-final was played same time at, I assume maybe at 3 o'clock kick. I don't know why it'd been different at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and between Arsenal and Orient.
Do you think that was to allow any fans who want to watch the first 15 minutes of one game and then to come across? That was
I reckon
an initiative they were doing.
That perhaps was the reason. Yeah, I reckon it was. But
you are, of course, superb. Give you an A star for that.
Cheers, mate.
But one of the things that I think we do need to talk about is when you could share with me the concerns that the town fans had with the man in the middle, Clive Thomas.
Wowzers. So. Yeah, I mean, Clyde. There was some. Let's say we had some history with Clyde Thomas, and he had some history actually with FA Cup semi-finals, and particularly Brian Hamilton. So a year before, Liverpool were playing Everton in a cup semi-final, I think at Main Road, and he disallowed a perfectly good goal for Everton by Brian Hamilton. And 2 years before that, in an FA Cup semi-final replay against West Ham at Villa Park. He disallowed 2 good goals from Ipswich, I think. Well, certainly did again, and another one from Hamilton as well. So yeah, when it was known that Clive Thomas was going to be referee for this match, I think it's safe to say that the fans were not happy. But to be fair, as it turned out, he did a super job.
He did. There's a question for you. So town line up in white.
Yeah.
West Brom are in their yellow and green striped kit.
Yeah.
The programme shows us in blue and them in yellow and green. So what was wrong with us playing in blue?
I have no idea. Do you know? You probably know that answer to that. I don't know.
I read it, so which means that I've forgotten it. But I did read it.
That game there was at Portman Road literally 2 or 3 weeks before. I think it was a 2-2 draw. But going into this game, I mean, Town, as we've covered this season before, obviously, in different games, we're having a really poor season in the league, and West Brom were half decent. West Brom had a look at the side, half decent side there, and in the round before they'd beaten the hot favourites who were Forest, who obviously were going to go on and win the league that year, but were certainly at that point very much cup quarter final were in for the double. But I remember Regis scoring a really good goal against them, and they knocked Forest out. So probably arguably West Brom for this game were certainly lead positions and form. Were certainly the favourites going into this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you say that, if you look at the round 3, they beat Blackpool 4-1.
Yeah.
Round 4, they drew 1-1 at Old Trafford.
Oh,
and then they beat Manchester United 3-2 after extra time at the Hawthorns. Brown and Regis were 2. Round 5, they went to Derby and they beat them 3-2. Regis 2 and Johnston, and then like you say, they beat Forest 2-0 with Mike Martin.
Mick.
And Cyrille Regis.
So Ron Atkinson, I'm pretty sure, had moved from Cambridge United not long before this game. He'd only been in charge a matter of, probably since the new year. I don't know how many. Yeah, I think since the new year, probably. He was very new to the job.
Desperately trying to read it, but I can't. But one of the things, they were clearly the favourites, I think, because it says that they'd played in, West Brom had played in 10 FA Cup finals and they'd won 5 of them.
Yeah, I think you'll find quite a lot of those are going back to the early part of the 20th century, probably. I mean, the last time they'd won the cup was, exactly 10 years before they beat Everton.
I could probably got it in here, but I can't be bothered. One thing I want to talk about is Robin Turner. So
yes.
that season in the FA Cup, he started every FA Cup match apart from the 3rd round tie away to Cardiff.
Yeah.
And the final.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
And he got us out of trouble against Bristol Rovers.
He did, yeah, he did. Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, that must have been, I assume, that season, maybe because he was, again, one of these players that was at Ipswich for like 11 seasons. I think, again, we covered this before,
Yeah.
only featuring in about 30 or 40 games or whatever he featured in. But probably you'll find that maybe this season he played most of his games for the town in this season. But anyway, we'll come on to him later because, yeah,
Just
go on.
a little stat before we get into the game.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mentioned the attendance was 50,922.
Yeah.
So since then, Town have only played 14 times where the attendance has been higher than that. And the last time was in 2016 when we lost 3-0 at St James's Park in Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm just, not looking forward to losing 3-0 at St James's Park next season.
Don't think we'll be 50,000 in there. In fact, I don't think it's. Well, no, Exeter must have.
Move the decimal point across.
Yeah, probably. Again, we'll do well to get that as well. I think.
So here we go. You correct me. I'm just going to go with the goals. You come in with the other bit. So,
fantastic.
8th minute. This is great build up to this goal.
Great goal.
We're attacking the
North Bank.
North Bank, yeah. We're attacking the North Bank. So Mills has got a free kick just inside our half. I think it's probably in front of where the little dugouts that they used to have. Those very small ones that look a little bit like bus shelters.
Yeah, it was the opposite side.
Was it? Yeah, well, there was anyway. It was over that halfway of the line. Mills plays a free kick. He finds Mariner on the edge of the box, and he does what he does.
Can I just say, is this the epitome of class centre forward hold up play?
It's brilliant. It's only surpassed probably by Daryl Murphy in what was it his last game against
Bournemouth?
No, against Norwich City when Jonas scored and the ball went.
Sorry. Yeah. That was pretty. Yeah. Where he holds off about 4 of them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So this was class, just class. Mariner, who is always classy anyway, but strength and just subtlety.
There's something else that I like about this. Obviously, Mills has taken the free kick, puts it forward. Mariner holds the ball up. He passes the ball to Woods, and Woods takes a little glance to his left, and he feeds the ball, and bombing down the left wing is Mick Mills. Most people, I don't know, most people listen to us probably remember Mick Mills playing that, but most people who know Mick Mills on the radio would never imagine that he suddenly galloped 50 yards.
He's got a fairly lazy, laconic delivery on the radio, hasn't he? I think it's fair to say. I don't think
he'd ever. You can't imagine him if you were 1-0 down at half time.
Well, and you've got to say, the epitome of hold-up play from Mariner and the epitome of attacking fullback work from Mills as well.
He's bombed down the left wing. His cross is met by Talbot, and ball ends in the back of the net. And it's one of those kind of celebrations where, well, you tell me, when did you realise something was up?
Well, you don't, because obviously all the Town fans were at the clock end. So this is at the opposite end. I mean, you see the ball go in, and you can see it's sort of Talbot. I mean, you say Talbot, it's basically Talbot and John Wilde simultaneously, really. But, and he's gone over. It's been well documented. So brave from Talbot. Brilliant header. Godden a bit unlucky, because Godden gets a pretty good hand to it, but he's so powerful. And then you obviously realise something's wrong. I mean, you can't really see, but the trainers, as well as only one aside in those days, are both on. And that's it for Talbot. I mean, I think Talbot's virtually concussed, and perhaps got an eye shut or something like that. But Weil goes off, and then Weil comes back. So Weil stays on. Oh, no, Weil stays on with a bloody headband, absolutely badge of honour.
So when does Cunningham come on then?
No, Cunningham comes on late. I think Cunningham comes on, well into the second half. Yeah.
So we've got Mick Lambert on now instead of Brian Talbot.
Yeah.
12 minutes later, it's Lambert's corner here, and it breaks to Mills.
Again, Mills, another assist.
Is this Mick Mills' greatest ever game? I don't know. He's on the 6-yard line, and he stabs it in to send the Town fans into rapture.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
So that's... You go to half-time, 2-0 up.
Yeah. And Coaston, I mean, Hunter and Beattie are just playing. Regis was a big threat. I mean, you went through most of the Albion results round by round there, and Regis was pretty much scoring in every round, prolific, absolutely strong. You'll know he passed away, and there was a lot said about Cyrille Regis last year when very sadly he passed away. But strong player, quick, broad shoulders, cannon of a shot. So he was a big danger, and so was. Supposedly Willie Johnston on the wing, who was going to subsequently go on to play for Scotland in the ill-fated World Cup in Argentina, and obviously get sent home for alleged substance abuse. But anyway, he was a really good, tricky winger at the time and stuff. So yeah, we were up against it, and this is one of the games where they obviously drafted Beattie back in, and him and Hunter were absolutely magnificent until.
Well, here's a little question for you, just about Cyrille Regis. Do you know where he was born?
Guyana.
Well, I was just giving you French Guyana. Yeah,
French
I want you to be more specific by giving you the answer first of all. Yeah,
I'm not specific again, am I? But French Guyana, yeah. Yeah, Hunter and Beattie were just absolutely magnificent until, as we'll get onto in a minute. So yes, first half 2-0 deserved. No, on the balance of play, and I don't think after 2-0, I can't really remember many glaring chances either side. Really,
I think that the game's progressing. It's probably going. Well, we're into the last 15 minutes now, and I think you're looking at it thinking we've got 1 foot in Wembley now, and then the
aberration.
Yeah, Alan Hunter decides when the ball goes into the penalty area to kind of two-handed punches it or something. I don't know. He's got his hand to.
It's weird because we can't see it from where we're totally at the other end, and the ball goes in, and obviously Clive Thomas, because people, oh bloody Thomas, I knew he'd get us in the end. Obviously then when you see it back, it's a clear handball. Beattie goes absolutely shit when it does.
When you see it on there, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And Tony Brown is the epitome of a thunder bastard penalty. He doesn't give Cooper any chance at all. So 2-1, and you think, oh, here we go. This is typical Ipswich. However, what I've got to say about that, it just, for what happened, how the game pans out after that, it just sets it up beautifully. But go on.
It does. I mean, the one thing
the game could have petered out at 2-0, and there's no way. It's subsequent. What happens next is, for me, one of my best ever moments as a Town fan. It's brilliant.
What was that when Mike Martin got his second yellow?
Mike Martin, Owen Garvin's uncle, gets his second yellow. Yeah, Mick Martin.
So that was in the 87th minute. So we're 2-1 up.
But we're still Ipswich. Even with 10, it's still Ipswich, and you think, we're going to throw this away. We're going to throw this away, and then go on.
89th minute. Oh. So in front of the clock end, Woods takes a corner, and it's met by Walk, and it's one of those. It's a typical Walkie header. Yeah, it's just great, and his header powers past Godin, and what I love about that is the celebrations that they have, and there's quite a few of them laying on the pitch at that point, because he's down there celebrating. At that point, you've scored in the 89th minute, you're 3-1 up, you're going to Wembley.
Honestly, mate, for me, my best ever feeling. All right, the cup final was there, and it's great. When we're going to Wembley, especially after what had happened, 2 or 3 years previously against West Ham, the replay when we were robbed, and clearly offside goals disallowed, as we've said. Up there with my, if not the greatest ever moment for me as a Town fan, just to know you're going to Wembley, absolutely brilliant. And the game could have, like I said, if it weren't for the penalty and setting it up, the game probably would have petered out 2-0 and brilliant. But, this was just amazing. How
did you get home?
Have I told you this story? I've told you this story.
You might have done, yeah. But tell that again. It's a good story.
It's one weird story. So I went with Dad and his mates from his work. He used to work at Fison's out at Levington back then, and they went up in this little mini bus from, I don't know, I think it was Westcott Ward. They one of the few of the guys used to go in there, so they arranged it, mini bus up to London, and they said when we parked up, my dad didn't realise this, and I was the only, as most my dad's age and his workmates and stuff, and I was the only kid, so I was 15. And as soon as we parked up and where we parked and walked to the ground, these guys were saying, "Right, lads, this is it." He said, "If we win, we're up west afterwards. Whatever matters, we're going up west. Sorry, we're going up west to celebrate." And my dad looked at me and said, "I don't think you do that, can I?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "I don't know about that." He said, "Well, we'll sort it out afterwards. We probably won't win anyway. We'll sort it out. Of course we win, and then what we do, so probably 20 minutes, half an hour, you're in the ground celebrating, and then you go outside, and it's all kicking off outside. I remember, all sorts going on outside. So we're wondering thinking about, we've got to find our way back to Liverpool Street, and we'll get tickets there, Finsbury Park, get the tube, something like that. So we're walking along outside the ground, and I know I've told you this Luton van comes past. So if I say what a Luton van is, it's like an old, I think you still get an old, say, miniature removal van with the shutter door.
Yeah.
And the shutter door's up, and there's a load of lads from Chantry, and so some of my mates in my year at school, some of their brothers, and their brothers driving it, their older brothers and stuff, right wrong-uns. And they're saying, Dave, yes. What are you doing? It's, oh, man, we haven't got to live, going back to the station. Hop in. So we're hopping in this. We're health and safety, hop in this back of this Luton van, and the shutter goes down, and we're off home. mates. Then it's banging on it, and they open the door, and a few of them get out and have a little scuffle, and they jump back in. But to crown it all, I remember most about this day. On the way home, we stop at the Moby Dick on Gallows Corner, the pub on Gallows Corner.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And we go in there, and there's police waiting. There's police waiting there. So and they're what? I think there's a few lads who want to speak to. And say, what's that? And they say, apparently is people, some lads sort of fitting your description, or at least with the same sort of van. And there was obviously there were other vans similar hired that day, who tried to disconnect the fruit machine and walk out with it. No, it's a crazy day. And that was it. So we dropped us off.
So the fruit machine wasn't in the van then?
No, the fruit machine was. So it wasn't clearly wasn't them unless they bumped into something that wasn't there. So eventually we get home, park up at Kingfisher. That's where we live, anyhow, down the road, Kingfisher Avenue. And I sit by, see you lads, see you Monday, see you boys, thanks a lot, and off we go. They go in the pub, we go home. Fish and chips, lovely. What a day.
Wow. When did you leave Chantry High?
That year, 78.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable, mate.
Unbelievable scenes.
It really was. And my dad, bless him, and he's still, right up till, years after that. My dad, he says, remember the day at Highbury Sunhead. So for me, special memory.
Special memories.
Yeah,
well, let's go to and our last game now, where you're going to have special memories because it's your favourite season. You know that you can't pick one from 1980-81 every week.
No, I know I can't. But this is the week, wasn't it? And we indulge yourself. But I thought, and include this one because it wasn't a particularly great game. But again, it was the occasion. Go on, set the scene.
Here's a question for you.
Set it up. Go on.
Right. Obviously, you kind of know the answer now, but here you go. You've got two crowds: 29,503 and 24,780. One of them is playing against Nottingham Forest in the Nation Weed Division 1, and the other one is in the UEFA Cup semi-final first leg.
I get it. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I mean, we only got 27,000, spoiler alert, I think, for the final, or 28, no more than that.
No, we've reached the final now.
Go on then.
You've taken away all of the excitement.
I know this is first leg. Second leg's to come, no stat.
Well, that's true. Just under 25,000, but a great atmosphere. And there's about 30 minutes of this that you can watch on YouTube. And they've got the flags waving and stuff like that, and the air horn.
Roundabout at some point this season, after a few games before this one, I'm trying to think, maybe St Etienne game, the St Etienne home game, was the first time I heard the air horn, and that was there right for the duration.
That's it.
And that was there for the duration of the season.
I love that, yeah.
I know.
We'll get away with it now. Get air horns, didn't they? I remember got one and took it down the ground.
An hell of a row.
Yeah. Yes. Someone stand behind you and they let it blast.
So what worries me now? What amazes me now? You can get in grounds now and let off flares, but you try and bloody
air horn in there.
Air horn, you'd be out, wouldn't you? Unbelievable.
So I've got the program.
Oh, look at that. Actually, it's my company. Who's the sponsor?
Radio Orwell, I think.
Oh, it is Radio Orwell, yeah, because the company I work for, Conchip, I think, sponsored the game that came up later.
The match ball was sponsored by Sperry New Holland, which is a UK market leaders for. Hang on, that's very exciting. For grass cutting.
Okay, yeah.
So there you go. Interesting. Wow. I would say not a lot of people would consider Paul Mariner to be a captain, but he was a captain for quite a few times. Do you know who's next to him?
Someone from St Etienne. Is it Jean Vian? I don't know. Someone from St Etienne.
It is someone from St Etienne. I'll tell you who it is because it's in the programme. Christian Lopez.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go through the. Well, first of all, so it's the 8th of April 1981. So it's a half 7 kickoff on a Wednesday night, and obviously Bobby Robson is against FC Cologne. Yeah, but as we would say, Cologne, or as my dad would say, aftershave.
They had a pretty famous manager, didn't they?
They did. Do you want to say who he was?
Rinus Michels.
Was this the first time that Town had faced him?
I should imagine it wasn't. I think he was he not manager of Barca? I think, yeah.
He was when we played them in 1977. So let's have a go, see if you can go through the Cologne team. Schumacher.
That's Harold Schumacher, isn't it? The rogue.
controversial goalie. Yeah. Preston. P-R-S-T-I-N.
No, North End.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's his name?
Dieter.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll pull you out of this because I've got the program. So we've got Harold Konopka.
Is that Gerdstrack? Is it?
Yeah, Gerdstrack. Yeah. Then we've got Gerber.
Yeah. Bernd Kuhlmann, is it?
Roland
Kuhlmann. Pierre Litbarski.
Oh, hang on. You're one ahead of me.
Oh,
Roland Gerber.
Yeah.
And then you're on Kuhlmann, who was
Bernd.
He was burned.
Not in. Not, I don't think. Yeah, Bernd Kuhlmann.
B-E-R-N-D.
Yeah.
And then this next guy.
Pierre Litbarski.
I tell you what, if you were a teenager of the 80s, if you were not running around on a football pitch with a pair of Litbarskis, they were my favourite football boots, without a doubt. Captain Germany?
Pierre Litbarski, potentially. He was German winger, yeah. He had very bandy legs. He wouldn't have stopped a pig in a passage, as me mum used to say.
Botteron.
René Botteron, that is.
Yeah, sounds French to me.
Yeah, he does.
And
obviously Gerd Müller.
Yeah, Gerd Müller and
Thomas Engels.
No, it was not Gerd Müller.
No, it's not.
It's Dieter. Yeah, I was going to say Dieter Müller when you said that. Yeah. I'm wondering which one you're throwing in just as a joke now. And then we've got Engels.
Thomas.
Stefan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then we've got very strange German name Woodcock.
I've not got a clue. Who the hell's that?
Don't know.
Tony Woodcock, signed from Forest. That was an odd move at the time. Did not see that happening, but yeah.
He cost 2.5 million German marks or £650,000. It was a new Bundesliga record, and he finished the season with 13 goals in 30 games.
Decent Woodcock. Obviously England international as well.
Let's go through this team. It's a great team. It misses the greats of Hunter and Beattie, but I tell you what, this would rival any team.
This is a team. So after Burley got injured at Shrewsbury, this was a team, and I would hazard a guess that I don't think this team was fielded much more after this game. There couldn't have been many more games where this, unfortunately, we could put maybe. Well, we'll get to it, but yeah, this was the strongest team on paper that we had, probably.
Yeah, just to let you know that René Botteron was the Swiss captain.
Ah, Swiss, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This was Town's 9th game in the UEFA Cup, and they lined up with Cooper, Mills, McCall, Osman and Butcher, Tyson, Walk, Muren, Gates, Mariner, Brazil.
Yeah.
Goals in that team.
Oh my word! Yeah, and the great Beattie on the bench there. Look.
Yeah, with Kevin O'Callaghan as well. Yeah. So the West Germans, as they were back then, people listening, might not realise that Germany was 2 countries for a while.
They were. Yeah.
There was one on the west, and I'm not quite sure. I can't remember the name of the other one, but there was the other German. South Germany.
Was it? I remember. I go so back. I remember the Germany World Cup when they won it in 1974, when they actually were drawn and played in the quarterfinals. Actually played East Germany in the quarterfinals and lost. East Germany won. Big, massive game at the time.
Did they sort of like shake hands and stuff like that?
It was frosty.
You can imagine all that. Look at the East Germans. There's a wall going up now for this free kick. And
I think probably exactly. Probably the West Germans say, "How'd you get here?" I got here in my BMW. Oh, had my Trabant or whatever it was. Yeah,
Trabant, classic car. The West Germans set, as you'd expect, the away team in an away cup semi-final. They're not going to be adventurous at all, and that's exactly how they set up. And Harold Schumacher was the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. And then in the 34th minute, Osman, what I loved about Russell Osman and what you see in this, so comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, he's a cultured player,
strolling through his own half, goes into the second half, and he plays the ball direct out to Mills on the wing, and the ball is passed around, and it gets passed to Brazil. It goes back to Osman again. I think Eric Gates gets involved. Eric Gates' pass is almost like he's like stabbing his foot just to beat the defender to it.
Yeah.
comes at Mick Mills' feet, and when you listen to this pod and you go through that, Mick Mills is suddenly his stock is rising on Football Index, scoring from 6 yards.
So the thing I remember about this goal is what he does. So Mills is playing right back here, and he's Mills 2-footed again.
Yeah.
Cross for Talbot in the semi-final for his left foot. Gets it onto his left foot. It's just a brilliant cross, and very similar in a lot of ways to the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah, to the third goal. Yeah.
Late run.
High cross this time, and walks in there, and Schumacher has no chance. That goal was Walk's 33rd of the season.
I'll tell you what, thinking about that stat, thinking of how many games we had left to play, he had a bit of a barren run after that, didn't he? Really,
he did. I mean, if you look at
he only finished with 36.
the program for hilarity for this is quite poor. They've gone really. They've featured a lot on Cologne and as you would, I guess, as you would expect, the UEFA Cup. But yeah, after that we had Man City in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, Villa away.
Oh, look, this is this week. So what a week. So this was on the Wednesday. Villa away, Cup semi-final on the Saturday, and what was billed, ultimately it didn't turn out that way, as the title decider away at Villa the following Tuesday. I mean, it's just mad, absolutely mad.
That was my birthday. That happened on my birthday. That game.
What, the Villa?
The Villa game, yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Then we played Arsenal at home, Norwich away, Cologne in the UEFA Cup semi-finals.
Incredible.
Man City, Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I mean, this was. I mean, just getting back to this game really was. This was a job well done, really, because I think, and I sure remember Robson saying afterwards that, the key here is we didn't concede. So we go over there. We've got a goal. They've got to come out and score two. We didn't concede, and fantastic result. And I honestly think that, obviously, following this game, we lost the cup semi-final. All right, we beat Villa, but then we got beat by, in between the away leg, we lost at Norwich. We lost at home to Arsenal. We lost at Norwich, and then we had this says so much about the team and Robson, how he was able to motivate the team for the away leg, for Christ's sake, because that was a season at that point almost down the pan. Incredible.
I'm looking at the team for the match before, where it was West Brom away, and we lost 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
So the only difference in the team was that
Steggles
played and was replaced by
Mills. Was Mills
Tyson?
Tyson, yeah, he had a hamstring injury. Yeah.
I mean, so Tyson went in.
I think going into the semi-final, which is the following Saturday, I think the only change there was Beattie came in for McCall. Yeah, I bet that was the only change.
One thing I do like in the programme is to look at the reserve appearances and goal scorers.
Yeah.
One name that jumped out, a couple of Peter Shields.
Oh yes, I think it's a Scottish left back. I think, yeah.
John Yezendorn.
Yeah, I vaguely remember him. Could have been Australian. Can't recall quite good. Yeah.
Ian Templeton.
Yeah, again.
Did he come from the Saints?
Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
And our friend John Linford. But Gary Davies. He was there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never played one appearance. Now, the thing is, if you were a mascot for this game, how brilliant would it be? Ipswich versus Cologne in the German in the UEFA Cup semi-final, and you just get a small little mention on the back of the programme.
No,
I almost gave up. So let me just tell you who it is. So it's tonight's mascot is 8-year-old Ben Davies
from Ipswich.
Number 2.
Oh,
the Close.
Oh no, it's not Ipswich, is it?
Sudbury.
Bloody hell! I never Ipswich.
So how old will he be now? So that's
how old was he?
8.
He'd be 40. So was that 1981? It'd be 38, 46, 47.
Yeah. His favourite player is Paul Mariner, and he attends Tudor Primary School. Whether that's still there, no idea. And he'll be wearing the Adidas replica kit of shirts, shorts, and stockings, which they used to wear back then. And he'll also receive a 257 Radio Orwell T-shirt from our match sponsor. So I'm going to show you a little picture of him, and it's Ben Davies, who was 8.
Yeah, Ben, look at that. Yeah, any films there, Stat?
No films, none of that
films?
whatsoever. Nothing at all. It is
people going to the football, weren't they?
The adverts are rubbish. Do you know who the referee was?
No, you haven't written it down.
No, exactly. Shall I tell you?
Go on.
Augusto Lamo Castillo.
Okay.
Castillo. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Name the 2 teams in the other semi-final.
AZ Alkmaar.
Well, technically they had a different name. Just saying.
What do you mean?
They weren't AZ Alkmaar.
67.
Yeah, AZ 67 Alkmaar. Sorry, you got to get it right if you're going to do it.
Oh, and was it Sochaux? Sochaux, was it?
Sochaux, I think. Yeah.
Sochaux, was it?
Yeah. Sochaux, and they're in the French League Division, Ligue 2.
Well, now they are.
Yeah, they are now.
Yeah.
One thing that came out, there's a little, the lovely thing that, Bobby Robson, it's always great to read these, and they've got notebook. Normally they have things like, they haven't even got ITFC flashback in here where they go back and look at previous games and stuff like that, but they have got notebook.
Yeah.
And this thing stood out. Once again, congratulations are in order for town boss Bobby Robson, who for the 2nd month running is the Bell's Scotch Whisky Manager of the Month. He will receive his gallon of whiskey and cheque before tonight's match. It's his 3rd success this season, the first coming in August, and it's his 8th in total. His other gallon bottles were handed over in January 71, December 72, March 75, November 76, and January 1980.
Wow.
8 gallons of whiskey.
That's a lot of Scotch, mate. That's a lot of Scotch, isn't it? A lot of Scotch.
Do you think he got through all of that?
I don't know, mate.
Anyway, so
Can I just have a very quick mention?
Yeah.
One of the games that I couldn't pick because I know that the information would be scarce. I think it was the 5th of April 1970 was my first. This week I noticed in the games that you sent through my first ever Ipswich Town. I witnessed my first ever Ipswich Town victory, which was a 2-0 home win against Southampton. And I think Tommy Carroll scored a penalty, and my sister's favourite player, Jimmy Robertson, scored, and Daryl's favourite player as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that story until you told me the wrong date. They actually played them on the 4th of April, 1970.
Damn it.
Yeah. Close. Let's get into some birthdays.
Go on, let's go.
And we start off with a notable birthday, and it's actually on the 3rd. We're recording this on the 3rd.
Yeah.
So Julian Hughes will be 55 on the 3rd. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but
not quite. He should be. I think Jill should be in the Blue Monday Podcast Listener Hall of Fame.
Oh, Dev, maybe we should put him in as number 1.
Hey, he's in there, number 1.
We have to get him like a pennant or a rosette.
Who else will be? Oh, no, we better be careful what we say. Obviously, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Number 1, number 2, certainly ITFC clan. Ian, number 2. Do you think
we should vote every year and maybe put a couple in? Because I'd like to go for Noel Baker.
We should. Yeah, Ross. No, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah.
So happy birthday to Jules.
No, we'd definitely be in there somewhere.
He would be. So a day after Jules was born.
Happy birthday, Jules.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jules. Frank Yallop will be 55, so one day behind Jules on the 4th.
Yeah.
Yet again, Frank Yallop not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I thought about this. How many games? He must have played about 300 games, Stat. Didn't he?
I'm thinking 385 or something like that.
not that you're pedantic and precise at all.
I'm worried I was giving you Jason Dezelle or something. But yeah,
he was just sort of understated, wasn't he? He was a great player, great servant to the. Surely he's next in line. Surely, isn't he?
I think the players vote. I don't know who gets a vote or whatever, but I think I spoke to Matt Holland about this, and I think he said the players get a vote.
But that should be. God, blimey, 385 games. 2 goals in a week.
Exactly. Captain of Canada, always off on international duty.
How many games would he have played? Bloody hell!
I think one player who probably has been, I'm going to say, the only player to have turned down going into the ITFC Hall of Fame because it's a big Jim Magilton gap in there, and I'm wondering whether Jim was probably, they tried to award it to him after the dirty was done by Simon Clegg and stuff, and he's gone. I'm just saying.
How many's in there to date? 50? No,
a lot more than that. Really? If you look at my timeline, I'll tweet it. I'll tweet it tonight so you can see. So I've done like an electronic Hall of Fame. It took me a long time to get the colour like you would expect on an awards board and stuff like that.
Ain't as painful as your kick-off times, is it?
Well, you'll see that. I might save it for the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, go on. Gives it all a treat.
Also on the 4th of April, this well-known person, again, not in the Hall of Fame, Samasi Abu.
See, I'm shocked at that. Yeah. Absolutely shocked. What?
Came on loan from
West Ham? No, not West Ham.
It was West Ham.
Was it? I don't know. I know he played for West Ham.
Well, let's say West Ham.
Say West Ham.
Yeah. So you can see I didn't
play. Did he score 1 goal? Sheffield United.
I think he made his debut against Sheffield United.
Maybe he didn't score then. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. Was that also Bramble's debut?
Yeah, I was in the away end with Titus's dad that game, and he stood there, and I thought, that's what a man looks like when his son is making a debut at professional football.
He
was full of pride.
That's awesome. Did we win? I think we won 1-0. We did win, didn't we? Did we?
That was at 2-1, I think. I remember that game where I decided to take on all of the blades at the end because I had it. You know, you got your shirt and you kind of cover it up, and we were walking down, and then a couple of them kind of realised that we were town fans, and you were kind of getting a little shoulder as they're going past. So then I thought, you know what? Being the fighter I am with my mates, I'm just going to. So I unzipped my coat, took my coat off. There I am in the town shirt, being protected by all my mates who were like a ring around me.
You made a point, though.
I did, yeah. I showed them, Northerners. On the 6th of April, Mark Vino Venus will be 52.
In the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay, just
I'm not going to say anything controversial. Well, I don't think he contributed enough to be in the Hall of Fame.
Perhaps not. Dynamite left foot though. Yeah.
I think he's better than Herman Hreinsson though.
Controversial stat. Controversial.
Yep. Was around a bit
give
more.
Herman Hreinsson a lot of thought. We must say the other one who went into the Hall of Fame, Jason DeVos, more than deserved.
Oh,
fantastic.
JDV.
Rock.
And a little shout out for the championship champion. Remember I did that thing where I had all 224 players that had made their debut in the championship from 2003-4 onwards, or 4-5 onwards. He reached the semi-final, but he got knocked out. And Luke Chambers beat Daryl.
How far did Macaulay get, or did he not make his debut? Have I got that wrong? No, he must have made his debut.
I think he probably got to the last 16, maybe. There were some tough players there. You know, Luke Chambers, Bart, J Tab, and our last birthday, quite appropriately, saving the best until last. Joe Royal will be what's that? A septuagenarian.
Septuagenarian.
There you go. He will be 70 on the 8th.
Good old Joe.
Only 8 years younger than Mick McCarthy. But yeah, he's 70, and I think most people, when they look back at him, and they will think of games like we had earlier of us losing to Forest 4-3, and they remember.
Hence, you know, thinking back, and you say about the crowds, but my God, back then, I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, we say the football now, okay, it's a step forward from McCarthy, but my God, that was entertaining. You just went down there every week, and you were just guaranteed goals, didn't you? Goals.
They probably didn't have over 2.5 goals then, but I reckon everybody would have bet on over 2.5 goals in any of those games.
Unbelievable, mate.
So some great birthdays there, and that's it, Dave.
Brilliant, mate. That's absolutely superb. Brilliant memories for me, and I know Jules and the other guys that listen will love to hear about certainly the cup semi-final. I mean, I don't know Jules' story just quickly when we covered the Leeds replay third replay. I don't know if you read his tweet today or yesterday. He said, "Yeah, happy memories of that. Went with my old man, and he tried to throw me on the pitch." When Woodsy scored, tried to throw him on the pitch. So, yeah, brilliant, and I'm sure he'll enjoy those. It's been fantastic. Really, really enjoyed it. So anyway, plugs. I suppose you better do some plugs. I guess. Well, not a guess. We're recording this on the Wednesday evening, so on Friday. Well, game permitting. Well, there'll be a game. The game will, I assume, go on in some capacity. They're talking about
clubs never go out of business now, do they?
No, well, they're not. They've had it deferred till next month now, until the season after the season. But there's still some. Obviously been doing the pod for an hour or so now. Still don't know whether the game will be behind. Potentially, it could be behind closed doors. Apparently,
I'm not going. Right. So apologies for all those people who bought tickets, but I know it was only a £5, I think. But I do not want there to be any fans there. Sorry to put it out there, but I want to update. I want to update the stat machine with played behind closed doors.
Because have we ever played behind closed? No,
never.
I can't believe it.
Never in a competitive game.
No. You'll love that. You'll love that. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm sure they'll be reviewing it. Rich and the brilliant Rich and Harry,
and the brilliant Harry
will be, and both brilliant, will be reviewing that. And,
do you think they say the same thing on their show about us? I never listened to it.
I don't think we get a mention. I don't think we get a mention. But anyway, we don't care. And then I think the flagship shows Bolton. I believe it's Ben is back with, I think, Joe and a very special guest appearance from Amy.
Who's specifically going to stand outside the ground because she won't be able to get in because it'll be behind closed doors.
Yes, I think Joe's going as well. I think Joe is. I'm sure a mention of Joe. So
let me just say that for my love of Ipswich Town fans who will go up to Bolton when we're bottom of the table, I hope they do get to see it. But if they don't, let's just remember that I can update my the stat machine with a little smile.
Yeah, and all fans going up who won't get in will be outside without a game to watch. Just cheer yourself up knowing Stats there updating his stat machine
behind closed doors. Yeah,
brilliant, mate. All right, I'll see you. Cheers, see you soon. Hopefully next week. Cheers.
Yeah, take care. Bye. Bye.
Ability